Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Audiophile Roundtable. My name is Steve Westman. Big day here in Canada. It's Canadian Thanksgiving. So thank you, all of my viewers, for celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving with me. Big turkey day for my family yesterday. Want to get to it. I want to talk more about the Doors, the box set. Had some questions with regards to if they're going to do more than just the 3,000 limited box of the Doors albums. So we'll talk about that. Talk about the source for the first self-titled album. And we're going to bring in our guest right now. You know him as the vinyl community's most favorite intern, Michael T. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Steve?
Good. We should get that intern label taken off pretty soon, I think. Maybe after October into November.
Okay, after October. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. And unfortunately, we were supposed to get George Borden on, and he texted me late this afternoon, and he's working late because he teaches, right? Does all that stuff. So he's doing a night class, so he can't make it. So hopefully next time around. But we have a newer guest. This will be his sophomore appearance. You know what happens in these movies, right? They have, the first movie's great, and then the part two is not as great. Kevin did great the first time around. I'm just worried I'm worried about this part two. So we'll have to see, but we'll bring him in. Kevin Bolger, he's probably laughing in the backstage. There he is. This is part two. How are you?
What an intro. Thanks, Steve. I'll try to.
I should also mention.
I'll try to be more. I'll try to be more Empire Strikes Back if that works.
You're also a musician as well, and you do play the drums in a band, so
Yes.
know you're very musically inclined. And I've seen you play through videos on Facebook. So this guy can drum. I mean, look out Phil Collins. Look out Ringo Starr.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
There you go. Well, thank you tonight. I'm wearing my Buffalo Bills shirt. I think they're down. I know you live in New York, so you're probably cheering for the Jets right now, and the Yankees and the Rangers, and I think all your New York teams are winning. So you guys are
the Giants, the Yankees, and the Rangers.
Yeah,
the Jets,
but that's fine.
Whatever.
They win. They win when it's not important. When it's important, they don't win. It seems.
See, you get it.
I know exactly. Lots to go over. I didn't really have much of an agenda today because we don't really do a Monday. And this is early for us too, isn't it, Mike? We normally do Monday or Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. But
usually it was 7.
I mean, we have Canadian Thanksgiving today. In Canada as well, Kevin, we have the Canadian Football League.
Right.
So it's 3 downs, not 4. The ball is way bigger, so it hardly fits in your hand compared to the U.S. football. Yeah. I think it's wider field, longer field, and the goal posts are right at the goal line. Yeah.
And the offensive players can move towards the line of scrimmage before the snap, which I guarantee you one day the NFL will adopt that. I truly believe.
I think it's like 1 yard. They have to line up 1 yard apart. Where in the NFL, I don't know. I don't know the different rules. So, and there's one extra player as well. So there you go. That's Canadian Football League. So there was a game today, and there's going to be the playoffs, and we have what's called our Super Bowl come November the 16th, and I'm going to be at that. It's going to be in Vancouver, so it's called the Grey Cup. And we'll do that as well. So.
Nice.
Looking forward to that, but thanks tonight. I wanted to go over a few things. I know I've had a few people ask me about the Doors and the box set, Michael. They're pressing 3,000.
Numbered, right? 3,000
numbered box sets, unlimited singles after that at some point. So, like I said in the last show, think of the ZZ Top box. Same drill here, guys. Same drill. You can order the box set, and eventually at some point they'll come out with the non-numbered copies of all the Doors albums. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I also want to get into, and we were looking at this just before we got on, Michael. We'll look at the Rhino homepage, and maybe we'll just do that now. Let's have a look at this. What do you think of this? New order, Michael. Kevin, new order. I don't know. November 22nd is going to be a big, it's going to be big.
Wow. This
November 22nd.
This is the first I'm hearing of this, to be honest with you. I had no idea this was coming.
There you go. So we got New Order, Bizarre Love Triangle, Brotherhood Deluxe, State of the Nation, Rough. Or that's on Tina Turner too, Rough. So there you go. There's a few.
Yeah, and I also saw that a Porno for Pyro's greatest hits.
I saw that too somewhere. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of fun as well. So I'm excited about that. And November is going to be a very expensive month for a lot of people. We've got the Beatles box, stereo mono, or the mono box, the Capitol mono box in November. I think it's November 22nd, right, as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got the Doors, November 22nd. This New Order stuff looks like it's November 22nd as well. And are you guys a Don Henley fan at all?
I'm a limited Don Henley fan. I mean,
Looks
like
like Rhino's coming out with the Don Henley, his first album. I'll show you this here, and his I guess his debut. I Can't Stand Still in Cass County.
I don't know
Reissued
Cass
on
County.
vinyl.
You guys know Cass County?
I think it's
Never
more
heard
of a
it.
country thing, right?
Never heard it.
No.
So that one's coming out. I couldn't tell you, but I do have the original of his debut album, which is not bad.
Yeah. I'm looking it up. Cass County came out in 2015. That's a recent album.
I have Can't Stand Still and Building the Perfect Beast.
Yeah.
And then all the Eagles albums, of course. But as far as Don goes, just those first two. And no, I think I have End of the Innocence also. So
I love End of Innocence.
Yeah,
Great album.
Yeah.
Someone's mentioning in the comments that there's also No Cure in November. Wow.
There you go.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Coming in late here,
we're all gonna
vinyl
go
and
broke,
Kicks 86. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna put it out there. Let's put it out there right now. Now, the Doors box set. Let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Any thoughts on it? Are you going to buy the box, 3,000? Or are you going to wait to get the numbered, or just buy one or two individual albums? Do you feel that you need all 6 of them with all the other pressings out there already? I'll start with Kevin. Go for it.
I love the Doors. I'm not saying that I don't, but I've always viewed them as somewhere between a greatest hits band and a full catalog band. For me, they're kind of in the middle. So instead of going for the whole box set, I'll probably wait until the singles are put out and go for the first album, Morrison Hotel, and LA Woman. Those are my 3 favorite. Anything cut by Kevin Gray, I'm always willing to give a listen to, because I have 4 or 5 different bands that he's cut albums on, and none of them are bad. I mean, he's made Monkey records that were edited from here till Thursday sound phenomenal, so anything he does, I'm willing to give a shot to, but I'll probably wait for the single albums.
Question for you, being a drummer. So when you're listening to some of these cuts from Kevin Gray, how do you listen to it? Do you listen to it any different at us as a musician? Like, what are you listening for most?
I just listen to songs. I don't think I'm really hypercritical as far as like instrumentation goes, as what's put in the front or what's split to the left or right. Me personally, I like some bottom, and I like a lot of mid-range. When things get too high, they get too shrill. I like it kind of beefy in the bottom and then that good mid-range, and he seems to do that very well.
Michael?
I'm probably going to get mine individually. I mean, I love the Doors. My favorite albums are the self-titled, Strange Days, and then LA Woman. I mean, I like the rest of them too, but those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. I'm Vinyl Kicks in 86, picking up single LPs, LA Woman and Strange Days. And we were talking this before we got on. I mean, Strange Days was actually the Doors' only #1 album on, I think, the Billboard charts back in their day. I think it was up there for 3 or 4 weeks at the time. So, and that's not even your favorite album, Kevin, right? You don't like Strange Days.
There's good songs on all of them. I'm not saying anything about that. It's just a personal taste that I have. Those 3 seem to encompass the Doors for me pretty well.
Nicole's going with the box set. I mean, again, 3,000, right?
Yeah.
Box first, cherry pick indies later.
Makes sense.
I mean, 3,000 is not a lot. I expect that to go as quick as, well, the ZZ Top box was 2,000. That went pretty quick, if I'm not mistaken, Michael. I can't remember the time period. Within a week, probably, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah.
I think sort of the litmus test for an album selling now would, if you look back, would have to be the Black Sabbath self-titled Rhino Hi-Fi. Mm-hmm. That was released on a Friday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard. I believe by Tuesday night, if not Wednesday mornings, all 5,000 were sold. So to me, when I see these releases of these hot albums, that's how I look at it. So a 3-4 day sales period, and it's sold out. And then we found out later on, of course, you can get the non-numbers, but it was fun at the time. Guys, I got some other news here. Let me share my screen here again. I want to show you this. This is interesting too. It's been on Facebook today, but I wanted to show you guys 1 second here. If I can grab it. It's not gonna let me do it. Hang on. Try this again. So I wanted to read this to you here. I should have had it set up, and I apologize for that. Sort of a last minute thing here, but you guys can see that, huh? I'll actually make it full screen. So this is from consequence.net, October 14th. Vinyl sales, guys. Look at this. Compared to last year, music consumption data, vinyl sales have fell 34.9 million units in 2023 to just 23.3 million in 2024. Look at that. That's a big downwards gap here. It's not just vinyl either. CDs and digital album sales also dropped in 2024. CDs fell almost 20%. Digital downloads are down 8.3% from where they were 2023. All told, album sales across the board are down 23%, decreasing from 75 million units sold in 2023 to 57.5 million units in 2024. What do you think? It's the economy, stupid. That's what it is. 100%. And these are new, obviously.
I don't know if
vinyl
it's
sales, right?
just the economy. I'm sure that has something to do with. I'm sure that has something to do with it, but I think what drove sort of the uptick in vinyl sales and music sales across the board, I think you had current artists putting out vinyl and putting out albums and putting out things that were worthwhile.
Yeah.
I just for fun listened to like a top 10 the other day, and I'd be damned if I could come up with more than one or two songs that I actually recognized or thought that were any good.
But here's the thing. Never buy a record or a box as an investment. 100% agree with you, Mazzy. If you're going to invest, it's called real estate or the stock market. Buy index funds. You're not going to make your money buying and selling records for, whatever it's worth. We always talk about this too. I mean, one day, Kevin, when you're, 6 feet under, and Mrs. Bolger is going to go, what am I going to do with Kevin's collection now? She's going to go to, maybe Josh from High Fidelity Records and say, hey, Josh, I mean, how much can you sell this for? And we know, you're not going to get, you're going to get 30, 40 cents on the dollar, whatever it is. So enjoy your records now. Yeah. If you don't want them, sell them now and get what you want. That's what it is. You're not, that's all that's going to happen here. This is not an investment game, definitely on the record side, even the gear side. Gear is like furniture. Gear is like cars, right? You take it home, take it off the lot, it depreciates. Furniture, you buy furniture, it's literally worth nothing the day the minute you take it home, it seems, right? So enjoy it. Life's too short. Enjoy it. It's not an investment, man. It is an investment as a hobby of your time, an investment in terms of not monetarily, but just as relaxing and enjoying it, and then getting on these forums and communities and making friendships and talking about these records. That's the investment in the community, not money wise, for sure.
No,
except for Michael, right? Michael, you buy and sell everything.
Right. Everything I've sold in the past, like 15, 20 years ago, I regret selling. I really do.
Okay, but that's hindsight. That's like,
in hindsight,
I should have bought Apple when it was $40 a share. I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, everyone had the chance to buy Apple stock when it was 40, and they would have been multimillionaires today, but they didn't. Or if they did, they sold it when it went to 80 because no one knew it was going to go to 1,000 or 2,000. Just like Google when it came out as an IPO, I think $80 a share. And what's it today? I mean, it's the same thing. Hindsight, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Enjoy your music. I mean, really, life is too short.
It's a personal investment the way I see it. Every record I have, I could tell you where I got it, when I got it, and why I got it. And that's part of the fun when you just grab one off the shelf and throw it on the table. It takes you back to that place. So for me, that's what the investment's about.
That's the thing. I mean, it's tangible, right? You can read the liner notes. You have the album cover. I mean, this is the big, and it's actually getting more involved with the music because, I mean, especially with a record, 33 RPM or 45, even more, flipping it more than once. You have to sit there for 15 minutes and then, okay, flip it again. I mean, you're more into it. You're more aware of it as well, right? Whereas if you're just streaming or even on a CD, album goes all through 38 minutes, whatever. You got to be more aware when it comes to listening to vinyl.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not an investment. This record collecting thing. I mean, some will say, "Oh, I should have bought the MoFi Braxis One Step when it came out at $99, and now it's $1,500." But again, hindsight, right? Whatever. You can make more money buying Apple stock or Google or buying an index fund of the Dow Jones, right? I mean, way more money in that. That's for sure. I mean, I don't think Warren Buffett is buying record collections. Just so everyone realizes that. And if he is, well, shit, maybe something's happening. But I looked at the Berkshire Hathaway portfolios, and I don't see record collections in there at all, unfortunately. So I don't know. But yeah, November will be great. We got the Beatles box set coming. The mono. It's the mono, right? Yeah, the mono Capital set. I'm not buying the box just because it is almost a $450 cost here in Canada. I might buy one or two of the albums, and that will be that. I mean,
that was cut by a guy named Kevin Reeves at Capitol Records.
Yeah.
Actually, he's in Nashville now. But I did see an interview with Kevin where he stated the U.S. master tapes have more low end than it was cut on the U.S. pressings, and he let that stay on them for the U.S. their reissues. So that should be good to hear.
More of Paul's bass.
Yeah.
That would be good for you, Kevin. You like that? You like low end? You might like these cuts.
I like the low end. Go get a 70s stereo pressing of the Tony Sheridan Beatle albums. Paul's bass never sounded better. But I pre-ordered the box. I'll be going with the box.
I got it.
I also pre-ordered the Target blue vinyl Meet the Beatles. Anything they put out, I will buy. I'm one of those people. I got the red and blue albums last year, played them once, and they've sat on the shelf since and never played them again.
So is Target doing their own editions of the Beatles?
Only Meet the Beatles, as far as I know.
As a blue vinyl pressing?
Or
blue
red
vinyl pressing.
Blue, okay.
Blue, okay, interesting.
Yeah. And have you guys heard about this Hard Day's Night on white vinyl that's coming out in England?
Do tell us.
Yeah, something called Album Day or some. I don't know. I suppose they'll be available on import for 3 times the price, but there's no way to get them domestically.
Is that which version of Hard Day's Night? Is that the UK version or the US?
It's the UK version, and I don't know what version it is. People seem to think it's just going to be a straight cut of the 2009 stereo, which exactly that's kind of like ho hum. Okay, fine.
What is that coming out? Do you know?
I think that's in November also.
Wow. Expensive. Really have to budget. Well, and also too, Rhino Hi-Fi is coming out with 2 more titles as well. I want to say the beginning of November, so the second Friday of November. I am not 100% sure of the date. I haven't verified that, but it would make sense, right? Because November 22nd would be the third Friday of November, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So that would make a lot of sense. So we'll see.
And somebody mentioned it's National Album Day, October 19, 2024.
Okay.
That's the date. That's the date in the UK.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then Doors self-titled on the Rhino Hi-Fi was a copy. It was not the original master because that went missing years ago. So
that's the other thing. We hold these things up to be, museum pieces, and in some cases, the master tapes don't even exist anymore. It's
that's a safety copy on the first album I heard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure it sounds fine. I mean,
it's the same one that Doug Sachs used. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I believe DCC too.
And I'm reading a lot of stuff on the forums about, I'm only going to get the 45s that Doug Sachs is. I'm not going to get the 33s that Kevin did. There's no way the 45s are going to sound, or the 33s that Kevin has cut is going to sound better than the 45s. I'm like, if you don't have a complete Doors set and you want it for, I think it's $240, from one of the best master engineers currently. Dress it optimal. We know the quality. It's a no-brainer. It's not expensive. I mean, think about it. One UHQR or one step are going for between 120 and 150. This is 6 albums for $240.
True.
So, I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it, though. I really am. But I mean, I think, Kevin, you said before you're not the biggest Doors fan, but maybe that's the sort of that bias because you're a big Beatles guy. That's probably what it is.
Well, there's room for everybody. I mean, you know, it's just that they always appeal to me on a certain level, and that was as far as it kind of went. So that's, you know, it's not at the cost of another band or anything. It's just I always saw them as that kind of band. I never got too deep into their album tracks from other records and things like that.
Mazzy's getting rid of his 45s. He doesn't want to ruin the flow. He wants the flow of the 33, and that's the thing. I mean, for the minuscule difference between a 45 and 33 on, you know, most people's systems or most people's ears, come on, not bad.
You know, I still remember I bought the UHQR of Kind of Blue, and I also have the MoFi at 45. And I remember getting lost in the music, and I was waiting for the next song to start. And I'm like, what happened? Because, you know, and then it's like, oh, it's time to get up and change it.
Well, that's tougher with jazz, right? Especially
Yeah, it is.
Kind of
It
Blue.
is. Yeah, exactly. With Miles Davis. Yeah.
Yeah. I have both the 33 and the 45 UHQR. That, yeah. I'm not sure why I bought both. That was during the FOMO
That was
days.
FOMO.
That was FOMO. I'm like, gotta have it. But ask me if
Yeah.
I listen to the 45 very often, because the answer is no.
A couple of years at least, yeah.
Man, I don't know what Corey Fergus is saying. Probably 400 in Canada when it lands. Are you talking the Rhino or the Doors box set? I mean, it'd be 240 Canadian plus. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably about. Hang on a second. Fred's saying buying the AP Doors 45 RPM would cost about $360 plus tax for all 6 records. So this is cheaper. Again, 33 RPM versus 45 RPM.
I have an idea. Why doesn't Chad put them all in the box and sell them for 300?
So Chad's using the same metal, right? He's using the metal from the 2012 Doug Sachs to continues to recut this stuff. That's an idea. Compete.
Then we could have another set.
A lot of people. I'm just reading here. M. Blazer not a fan of 45s. I don't know. I think there's a market, but like I think you guys missed it. I mean, vinyl sales are down. What was the number here? Was it 33% decline for new record sales, right? So maybe that's because we need a Taylor Swift album to bring it up, possibly. That would help. But no,
she's real good at selling her fans the same thing 4 or 5 times. So
yeah, and what she does is she'll put a specific bonus track on each version. So if you want all the bonus tracks, you have to buy 8 versions.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's the stupid one?
I personally don't mind 45 that much. If it sounds good and it's 45, I'll get up twice as much. It's not a problem.
So Mazin, do you think, I don't know if this is probably just for the entire group here, but do you think Kevin Gray's new chain is better than Sax's back then? Maybe Michael, you want to?
I don't know. I mean, it would be speculation. I don't know. That's a good question, though.
But I mean, Kevin's upgraded his stuff year over year, invested a lot of money into his equipment. So I'm going to say, I mean, we know the sound quality of Kevin Gray's stuff. 2012 versus 2024, upgrading every year and reinvesting. I don't know. That's 12 years of upgrades.
Yeah. And when Kevin Gray was cutting with Steve Hoffman at Acoustic instead of RTI, the 45s, the 33s from Music Matters sound better than the 45s cut at ATM Acoustic Mastering at RTI because it was a better mastering chain.
I mean, it just amazes me, all the forums. People are just, oh, well, it's the 33s. And I mean, we've had this debate forever, right? And then, you've got the side where I don't want to flip it a million times. I'll just, go with the 33s. And you got the other side, I like the 45s. I know a lot of, people in the industry like the 33s. They don't want to be getting up every 12, 13 minutes to flip it. So from a convenience standpoint, from a flow standpoint, from the way we remember the records, right?
Yeah.
That's like messing the flow up of side B of Abbey Road. That would be insane. I just wanted to go, put it on side B and let it go all the way to the last song, which is the end, and not have to get up. That would be that would be tragic.
It's funny you mention that, Steve. That's one of the reasons I didn't buy the Genesis Foxtrot acoustic pressings from Chad's deal. Side 3 and 4 have Suppers Ready cut in half on one side, half on the other, and I'm just.
It's a 20-minute song, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I got Selling England by the Pound. I got Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, but I skipped Foxtrot because I'm like, you can't.
So does it actually just fade out and fade back in on the next side?
I guess so, I think I know.
Like,
I think I know where
tracks. You guys know 8 tracks?
Right, sure. And I think I know where it's cut, but to me, I hold that in the same esteem as side 2 of Abbey Road. You don't mess with it.
Yeah, no, you don't mess with Abbey Road. Nathan Goss, he's saying he likes the Rhino Hi-Fi Fidelity series. He says it's a bright spot in the vinyl community right now, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had controversy, right? Of course, people after they bought Black Sabbath, they came out and I think Rhino's doing pretty cool because they're letting everyone have a chance to listen to these records, and that's the big thing, right? It's not just limited to 2,000 or 3,000, and then, oh my gosh, in the aftermarket, they the prices are jacked up, by double or whatever, so you don't get the chance to do it. I think if you're trying to flip these things, yeah, you're probably pretty pissy at Rhino Hi-Fi right now. But if you just love the music, which we're talking about, because if you want to invest your money, buy real estate, buy an index fund, not buying and selling vinyl to make a $5 flip. That's a waste of time. Buy it because you love the music, you love the sound, you love the process, you love the engineer, you love the packaging, and you get to go and talk about it on these shows and write about it in forums and read about it in the Steve Hoffman forums and get all into it. That's what it's about, I think.
Absolutely.
That's the most fun. But yeah, I'm curious. I mean, the Beatles box set, it'll come out of the gate hot, right? But I mean, just like their other remixes a year ago, the blue and the red, I mean, you can get those in bargain bins now. Like at Barnes and Noble, I heard in the States, they're like, not that expensive.
The full-on remixes that, yeah.
I'm assuming the same thing will happen. And they're going to make, again, this is for the masses. This isn't a limited thing for the Beatles. It's for the masses to create a bigger market, to create more money. I'll say it again. The record industry is in it for one reason only. You want to know that reason? It's for the money, baby. Just remember that. Every single label.
Well, if anyone is expecting anything from the Beatles U.S. catalog to be analog, audiophile quality, it's not going to be. And I don't think that's what it's about, and that's not what should be expected. You have a generation of people in America who this is how they know the Beatles.
That's right.
I can tell you about my own father. When I played the Past Masters CD for the first time, he said to me, "What's wrong with these songs?" Because they sounded too clean. He wasn't used to hearing them like that because it was all the British versions. So if you grew up with that, this is how you know them, and I think that's who this is kind of geared towards. It's not geared towards your
and you know them in a certain sequence too. Yeah, you grew up with them in a certain sequence. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I remember buying, I mean, the Capitol Records when I was growing up, when I was 13 years old buying, I had no idea there were different track sequences of the UK. I didn't learn that because there was no internet back then. So I just assumed everything was the same. Right. And I don't know how I figured out. I did figure it out eventually, but I mean, no one told me, and there wasn't somewhere where you could find it very, very easily. So we're just buying the Capitol ones and listening to those. I don't know. It was the Beatles. It was great. But then we get into the UK and the mono cuts and all this other stuff. And you're like, whoa, hang on. It's a whole new world.
Exactly. You get down the rabbit hole, and that's the end of that. You don't.
I mean, I've got 100, too many different Beatles pressings, so I don't need to reinvest more into that as well. But yeah, again, I think I'm going to get Beatles 65. That one I like that one.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That, and for me, Meet the Beatles probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard Day's Night, I mean, really, you got side
Yeah,
B, which
that
is a
too.
George Martin instrumental, right? I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to do. I don't know many people are going to sit there and say, "Oh, wicked! I'm going to turn it to side B now and listen to all the way through." I mean, they're gonna majority, and you know what? Let's just be honest. You're going to put side A on, go all the way through, and you're going to just take it and put it back in the album jacket and go on to the next album. You're not going to listen to side B.
So you could listen to the Beatles story, right? That album's the one you're waiting for.
I showed that last week. You saw that. I showed that last week. I had that. I bought that brand new in 1983, and I've never listened to it. It's a 2 album, and one of the records is still stuck inside the album thing. I can't get it out. So I'm not going to bother. That's for sure. But no, kind of cool though. Like Rhino's coming out with the new order stuff. There's no I guess master engineer information, Michael. We don't know what's going on there.
All there is a street date, nothing else.
No, street date November 22nd, and one has to assume. You know what assuming does? One has to assume, because we know that most of the anything analog is going to be a Rhino Hi-Fi. One has to assume there would probably be it's a digital file they cut it from. Again, assuming. Don't know for a fact, but that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? There'd be no point in having a Rhino Hi-Fi series straight from the analog tapes if that was, what they're doing just for the normal pressing. Again. Yeah. Simple logic. And I haven't heard anything other than no one's told me either way, but I mean it just makes a lot of sense. But yeah, everyone seems to be impressed with Rhino Hi-Fi. M Blazer here sounds like AP has real competition with Rhino Hi-Fi. I mean, again, right? Rhino is going to, can get rid of the middleman. All they need to do is negotiate with the band and the band's manager. That's it. Right? Whereas Chad has to negotiate with the label first. So it's one extra step if you're AP, if you're Mobile Fidelity. But it seems like Mobile Fidelity, Michael, I mean, they obviously have a very good relationship with Sony, clearly, with the whole
and apparently
DSD thing.
Warner Brothers, too. They got the Fleetwood Mac coming out, Tango in the Night.
You going to get that one, Kevin?
Yeah, probably. Tango in the Night works. I do. I just picked up the Simon and Garfunkel bookends. And
what'd you think?
Other than a seam split in the top.
But that's part of the that's
I know.
And knowing MoFi now, that's part of it. You should expect that. If you don't get a seam split, it's like, oh damn.
Shame on me, I should know better. The person on the phone said you can call and request to have the record shipped outside the jacket, whatever. But it sounds amazing. I put it up against my probably second or third pressing that I have from the 60s, and it's really good. It stands up. Great album.
I'm just looking here, John Loper. I mean, if you've got the AP doors, you're probably not going to get. I think the Rhino Hi-Fi doors series, the 33 RPM, is good for someone that doesn't have the full set and wants a really high quality reissue. I think that's what this is. This is all this is. I mean, again, it's 3,000 box, unlimited, non-numbered once the box sells, or within weeks or a month maybe after it's released, the box is released, and it'll be around. I think again, expanding the market, just like the Beatles are, doing. That's the Beatles, the box that's coming out in November will be around for a long time. You'll probably get that cheap next year at this time as well if you want to wait a year. And just like the the door stuff, it'll be around for a while. I mean, this is the thing about the aftermarket. It's not going to be what it once was 4 or 5 years ago. Who cut the doors AP was Doug Sachs
at the mastering lab.
And then, yes, John, there's going to be individual 33 RPM doors, non-numbered. I don't know when they come out. And then again, Rhino Hi-Fi, 2 more rock releases beginning in November, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, and stuff it's not stuff that's been done to death. If that makes sense.
Have they ever had audiophile reissues, the new Rhino High Fidelities in November?
Maybe I'd have to look back, but it's I mean, bands that we know, but not stuff that's been done to death. Maybe
I'm seeing a lot of comments about Tango in the Night in our listener comments. So what's interesting about Tango in the Night? Chris Bellman cut that in about 2017. That sounds fantastic. I have that one. And then Ryan K. Smith cut Tango in the Night for Vinyl Me Please earlier this year. So we have Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman's mastering. We have Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound, and now we have MoFi doing the same title. Third time. Amazing. Audiophile engineers.
And then they're asking, what's the source for the first album tape? So I'm assuming he's talking the Doors self-title. Yeah. It's a safety copy, or yes. Because the actual master. That's been long gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
See, this is the thing. Steve Leland's asking about the two other Rhino Hi-Fis. Hasn't been done to death, but they're the titles that people want. I mean, this is the thing. They're diversified, right? They're not just getting everything that everyone wants. I mean, these are two bands that you know the names, and I think it'd be a lot more demand.
Are they super famous?
Well, everyone listening and watching knows them. How's
Knows
that?
them. Okay, that's a good clue.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't wait. What early November, huh?
Yeah,
So
I'm
3
gonna
weeks
see.
away?
I'm going to see if Patrick will do that. We'll do an unveiling show, him and I. See if he'll do that. I'm not sure. He has to get confirmation from the higher up, just because the whole Doors thing, they decided to go and release it through the one of those websites instead when they did the Doors announcement. I had no idea they were doing that. So, oh, look at this. Look at this. I just picked up Intervention pressing of Church. Sounds amazing.
Hold on, let me show that one. I have it. It's actually sitting out from it's still sitting out from when we had Shane on. This one here, yeah. This is a great sounding record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great sounding record. If you're a fan of the Church.
And hang on, is that art? Does it have artist intent, Michael?
It does.
It does. Hold on.
And I had
Show me artist intent.
I'll show you. And then I also had him. I had the vocalist autograph too. There you go.
But look on the hype sticker. Artist intent.
They signed off on it. Steve Kilby is his name. Yeah,
love it.
and
Artist
I
intent.
saw them at Easy Street Records. They performed in store, and I had him sign it. Yeah.
See, Marcella Rhino, Emmylou Harris sounds great. One of her favorites, right? So I mean, it depends. Not everyone wants the Beatles, and everyone wants the Doors, right? Some people, again, it's eclectic. We're all like different things.
You guys don't listen to just all I listen to is Steely Dan, The Doors, and Dire Straits. Nothing else.
Steely Dan? Aren't we banning that? I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it.
I'm kidding.
But the Church album sounds amazing. Look at this. Bandy's back. Bandy, hi, John. He likes other great Church albums as well.
Yeah, the Church album. The Church put an album out last year. Actually, I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I haven't opened it up yet.
All the Church albums sound amazing. Yeah, John said that too. Yeah, even Matt and I. The Graham and the Emmylou guys. I mean, it's just a different genre. I get that, but they're really good albums. If you want to just diversify your collection and not just have Steely Dan and the Doors and the Beatles, I mean, come on, let's get a little bit more, diversification. Just like you can't just buy Apple stock, and maybe you can, but I mean, you got to diversify and buy bonds and all different stocks, right? It's the same thing with this, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
I think, anyways. But yeah, no, it looks like there's a lot of positive for Church, but Intervention Records. I mean, we had fun when Shane came on. I'm not sure if you caught that show, Kevin, but
I did.
We had Everclear as the album that we got as a promo, Michael, and that's a great sounding album. I mean, I remember that from the '90s. That thing just shakes the house.
Yeah.
So here's what exactly are the defining features of a Rhino Hi-Fi. So the thing about Rhino Hi-Fi is, number one, price. So it's like pretty much $40 a record. You get a nice insert with the actual tape box, normally the master box, cut from the master tapes by Kevin Gray, and then pressed at optimal, and a really nice Stoughton jacket, hard, really thick cardboard. Those are the features.
And the initial pressings are limited to 5,000.
Numbered copies, and then and if they don't sell the 5,000, they'll just keep it the numbered copies. But there's more demand for it. Once the numbered 5,000 go, then they'll do the unnumbered. So we'd expect with the Doors, the 3,000 are going to go pretty quick, and you'll see the unnumbered individual copies after that.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's going to be really interesting. There's going to be a lot of forum debates on the 33 versus the 45 RPM Doors stuff, the Doug Sachs versus Kevin Gray. It's going to be interesting. And yes, it's all AAA.
And especially LA Woman, because Bernie just cut that also at 33.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like.
And there's still one more AP UHQR surprise, by the way,
this year, correct?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
still waiting for. I think I have 4 records still on order with AP that haven't come out yet. When they first announced the whole Atlantic 75 list, I ordered them, but they've come out. They've dropped at different times throughout the year, and I'm still like 3 or 4 short. But every one of them has been good.
So M. Blazer, I'm very impressed with the Rhino Hi-Fi quality, but being numbered means nothing to me. And this is the thing. Who cares about the number? I think that was more a pandemic thing, Michael, years back, right? Oh my gosh, it's numbered and it's worth more. And by the way, just to remind everyone again, when they press the records, 1,000 at a time, they're not going from the bottom and putting the first one that was pressed into the number 1 jacket, right? That's not happening.
No,
they're taking the 1,000th one and putting it, into whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no order. So if you have a low number, you have a low jacket number. That's it. That's all you have.
Cool.
What's about Rocktober? We got any? Rocktober's is it mostly cut? Ministries were cut from AAA tape, Michael? Yeah.
I know that I showed it last week. I bought the NXS-X, and that was GZ Media. So that one was not, but they're $24. I'm not expecting AAA cuts.
No, they won't be. John Bandy, it'd be nice to have the doors all in one place again at 33. Yeah. I don't know. I just think something like having the Beatles all at 45 RPM, I don't think, anyone would actually appreciate that. Just really think about that for a second. Mm-hmm. I think everyone would be very upset with a 45 RPM Beatles box set of all the albums. They'd be like, what is this? We're splitting up side B of Abbey Road. What?
Well, on the early albums, it'd be 6 or 7 minutes aside.
It'd be a lot of the dead wax. You know how much dead wax there would be in one of those records?
Yeah, there's no point. Yeah.
No.
You'd be getting a lot of exercise.
Yeah, right. I have the EP collection, the blue box, the Beatles EP collection, and I played them all in an afternoon once. I was tired at the end of it.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing. And if you want to not go to the gym and save money on a gym membership, just buy all the 45s. You're getting up every 12 to 15 minutes all day long. I don't know. No, if they do Beatles 45, I think that will be the end for a lot of people in terms of wanting to collect. That would be too much. It'd be too much for me to be like, okay, we already know it's a money grab because this is all about money, but this would be over the top money grab. It'd be like, really, guys? Now we're doing 45 RPM? Come on.
Somebody's mentioning for October they also issued 2 Stone Temple Pilots albums, number 4 and the one Shangri-La, I think.
Right.
And I heard they weren't that great sounding. I've seen some reviews of them. One of them used music on vinyl plates that had already been issued.
Really?
Yep.
You think maybe they need more of a hi-fi reissue, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at John Loper. I wish they'd go back and do STP4. Yeah, and AAA. Absolutely. I mean, why couldn't they? They already did it with Purple and the other one, right?
Yeah. Someone's saying they're not that good. It's John.
Yeah, I read that as well. I actually read that in another forum.
Yeah. Very compressed sounding is what I hear.
Yeah. That's too bad. Maybe that will happen.
I have Core, the first album, and
Core, right?
Sounds pretty good to me.
As far you're talking about the AP, the AP, so you get that anniversary.
The AP one, yes.
That one is. I give that a 10 out of 10. It sounds really good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I have that too. Yeah, that one is good.
See, you're not wrong. Music Minute, Beatles Pierce will sack Abbey Road. Out come the pitchforks, like in Shrek or whatever that movie was. There you go, for sure. Well, that would be the end of it. That would be the end of it.
Apple keeps the tapes under such lock and key now that I can't even see them letting them go out to be cut to 45.
Well, I'll give you this. I'll give you this little bit of Easter egg. In the next week or two, Miles Scholl from Abbey Road will be on the show.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, appointment television.
That's going to be, I think I might do a late night show because he's 7 a.m. London time, so I might do 11 p.m.
That'd be
PST.
11 p.m. Yeah, before he starts cutting for the day.
I'll do the late show with Miles Scholl. We'll just talk music and hopefully people aren't sleeping. So I just talked to him this morning actually. So I think he got approval from the universe. Who gets approval from? Whatever. He gets approval from whoever, even though he's self-employed, he still needs approval. And he got approval.
Abbey Road people?
Yeah, I think so.
Universal
thing. Is it Universal? Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I've had Miles on a few times. It's lots of fun to
Yeah.
have him on. We'll talk Beatles, and
Awesome.
I know he's working on doing some Alan Parsons stuff as well through Cooking Vinyl, which is a UK label. So if you haven't checked out their website, UK, I think it's called cookingvinyl.com, and they do a lot of Alan Parsons stuff as well. But yeah, we'll see. Miles will be fun. Always enjoy having Miles on the show, and I guess from that whole remix thing, we'd still be waiting for Rubber Soul would be the next one in line, right? That'd be my guess.
But here's the thing, though.
But
You got
money.
half of Rubber Soul on the Red album. Literally half of it is on the Red album. So
you think they've already probably remixed it and cut it?
I think that album is mixed and already on the shelf. They just need to package it up. What else you going to throw in the box and put it out? You know.
I'll tell you an interesting tidbit about Miles. He's told me that he has a lot of these major studios have engineers working for them, or they have hired engineers. Like Bernie Grunman has full-time people on staff. Sterling has consultants. Miles has an engineer that has made custom parts for his Neumann cutting amplifiers that are much better than the ones that were made in 1980, 1982. And he's mentioned to me that every single major cutting studio in the UK has bought those parts for their lathes too. And not only that, Sterling Sound has installed the parts that Miles Shaw's engineer made on their two lathes also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask this. I know the answer from a lot of viewers, but they do the Rubber Soul. They're keeping the same album cover. Don't you feel that if it's a remix, it shouldn't be the original album cover? It should say remix on the top, because what's going to happen is eventually you won't be able to find the original mix of these albums. It'll just be the remix, and no one will even know it's the remix. It doesn't say it's straight on the album cover. So, for instance, the Blue and the Red album, right? Those are remixes. Can you still get the original ones? They don't probably cut those or press those any longer, so they're just all going towards.
It was about 2014 or so. Yeah, those were AAA.
So I know I know we've talked about this before, but yeah, we'll have to see.
The 2014s are phenomenal.
Those were stereo cuts too. Yeah.
Right. That's my go-to listen for that album is the 2014.
Yeah.
See, Brandy agrees, right? I want to see different. I mean, I know we've talked about this on the show before, but different album covers or different artwork. If it's a remix, it's a remix. It's different. It's not the actual original album. It's a remix. So, but they're not going to do that. So, would be nice though.
Well, they did Revolver. They did Revolver. The box set didn't say Revolver at the bottom. It was just the picture.
But not remix.
Okay.
Didn't the box set had a remix, and it also had a new AAA cut? Remember that?
That's right.
New AAA mono cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Music Minute seems to be their plan: remix and replace the originals. That's what I'm trying to get at too, right? That's what they're going to do. So, in 50 years from now, if there's a market for Beatles records, people that are our age now and we're 6 feet under are going to think those are the only ones. Because even Spotify or Apple Music will probably just have the remixes. They won't have the original album.
Yeah, they'll be compressed with center vocals and
be like, what is this sound?
New echo, new reverb. Yeah.
What is this stuff? So much reverb on it.
It's the Beatles. Meet the Beatles.
With John Bandy, Rubber Soul is the most suspect stereo mix. Never has sounded right. Only one that needed a remix, in his opinion. Yeah. Yeah, the Star Wars effect. There you go. I don't know. The Beatles story. The biggest money grab ever is $120 for the Beatles story. I showed that last week. I've got the Beatles story. I've never played it in my life, and I don't plan on playing
I don't think that one's being sold individually. It's
no, it's not. Set, it's part of the box set.
Yeah,
but I think what he's...
So you're paying $120 extra for that. Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's the biggest scam going. I'll give you mine for free. I mean, save money. I've never listened to it.
You know what? The week it's released, you should have a raffle and give it free to people in the comments.
It's not a bad idea.
I also have another one I never listened to called "Hear the Beatles Tell All." It was on VJ. I've never played it once.
Well, that would make sense. New Beatles doc coming to Disney as well.
I saw that November 29th.
So November. Oh my God.
Yes, and it's also there's some really famous people involved. I forgot who it is, but there's some really famous producers.
Martin Scorsese's doing
Martin
it.
Scorsese. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I just saw it today. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it also. Very excited about it.
Yeah.
What's funny though is that they said they've demixed the Ed Sullivan show, the first Ed Sullivan show.
So they're gonna remix it.
Which
Sweet.
which is all well and good, but it doesn't change the fact that John's microphone was not working. So you're not gonna magically find his vocals anywhere.
Well, it was just the crowd was so loud, so they hopefully muted the crowd out of that.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they will.
Maybe they'll remix the crowd in surround sound, so it's coming from the back. That'd be kind of cool. The screen.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, we know they have the technology now to do it, so
yeah,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, Disney is co-opting the Beatles.
I agree. Beatles 65. That's the one that I'm getting.
Wasn't there a different version of "I Feel Fine" in the U.S. and in the UK with a different reverb at the beginning or something?
Oh God, I Feel Fine on Beatles 65. It sounds like they're playing down the block somewhere.
Okay, I remember that one sticking out to me.
Did he put his bass amp right up next to the microphone or something? What was the deal with that song at the very beginning?
John's acoustic guitar had a pickup in it.
Okay,
and he just he leaned it up against an amp, and it just
that's what happened.
And
I like that though. I remember that.
But then he did it on purpose, you know. And as he said in interviews many times, we did it before Hendrix, you know.
I'm just reading the comments here. I'm curious if a lot of people looks like they're going to just buy the individual doors, just like I'm going to buy individual Beatles stuff.
Yeah.
And then a year from now, we come back, Christmas of 2025, you can buy a Beatles box set, Capitol mono for half the price. Want to bet? Want to bet like a beer?
I see Let It Be is the big one I see all the time. $65.
And I paid full freight for that one when it came out because I was FOMO'd. Full freight. Canadian. That goes back to my point, guys. Don't buy records as an investment because that is that's a big loss right there.
No way.
Huge loss. So, Michael, next week, or actually next couple of days, I was on, Josh's High Fidelity Records website.
Yeah.
He had Speaker's Corner Supertramp Crime of the Century. Guess who picked it up?
You got that?
I bought it.
Nice.
And so that was one of my grails.
Has it arrived yet?
No, I looked at the tracking. It looks like October the 18th. So we'll talk about that one because we'll have the Speaker's Corner. I've got the Canadian MoFi, of course, the MoFi. I mean, that was incredibly engineered album. Ken Scott obviously was part of the Beatles as well. What did he do? He did the White Album. I think he's part of the White Album. Did a lot of Supertramp. That's a great sounding record. I think it was really well produced and engineered to begin with. So I'm curious to hear how the Speaker's Corner cut is, and I paid a pretty penny for it. So I'm curious. So yeah, a lot are not interested in the box. So buy a few, either Beatles or the Doors. That is.
Mm-hmm.
Loper wants to know, anyone know when the next Genesis or Yes Analog Productions 45s are coming out?
I'm waiting for Genesis self-titled and Abacab, and there's no date on them yet, as far as I know.
Well, you are a big Genesis fan, though, Kevin, aren't you?
Oh yeah. And this makes people crazy. I got the Yes 90125 because that's the only Yes album that I like.
It's a good album.
I
got the Ludwig cut from 82, 83, whenever that came out, and of course the AP. They both sound great. I mean, I got the Ludwig cut for $5 Canadian, like almost, and very good plus. I mean, it sounds great. Sounds great.
There you go.
Any more surprises? Like I said, Leland, there might be another. I don't know if there'll be another UHQR before the end of the year, but there should be one more UHQR. And Michael, Ted are here. We're not talking about that other band here. I don't want to. Do you think Steely Dan UHQR will ever sell out? Okay, who wants to answer that?
Well, didn't Asia sold out? Didn't it?
No, that's 30,000.
That's not.
No.
Okay.
I bought it. And when I had Steve Hoffman on, remember he did the shootout? And he liked the Cisco cut. by Kevin Gray.
Yeah, I remember that.
There seems to be a real, Kevin Gray's name comes up a lot in these audiophile reissues, so there seems to be some consistency there with most things. So, I wonder. Yeah. Here we go. The new Cure cut. That's Michael's probably gonna get the new Cure album, aren't you?
I may. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle with those guys. I like some of the stuff. When is that coming out? November also?
I don't know. I think so. November is going to be expensive. You got Christmas. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
And we got Black Friday. Yeah.
See, we don't do Black Friday in Canada. I have no idea what Black Friday is. Yeah.
Oh.
A good $30 version of Asia. You could just get the universal cut of Asia. That
or you can find an original for about 30. They sell for 30 in my part of it.
Yeah, just get that. Save
with the ABC Records logo. Yeah, and that was cut by Bernie Grunman, the original. Yeah.
25, $30, no problem.
The original Bernie Grunman, $25-$30 all day long. Just grab that one.
Yeah.
Michael, question for you from Alex. Michael, have you ever heard of the Echo disc for?
I saw it in stores, but I haven't bought it.
They
also issued a picture disc version. I saw that, but I haven't gotten it yet. Yeah.
Helmet Betty coming.
Yeah, I used to be a Helmet fan.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I loved Helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna buy
pretty heavy. I didn't know that was coming out. Yeah, I saw them play live back in the day.
Let me ask the viewers, I'll ask everyone, do you guys have a monthly budget, or you just buy when you feel the time is right? Is Mrs. Balger watching right now, Kevin?
She's watching, but she's watching from downstairs. Monthly budget? No, but some months are heavier than others.
November?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It's, like Steve, I sent you the Boston half speed record that I got the other day, right?
Yeah. How much was that?
It was $40.
So let me full stop you there. That's the CBS half speed mastered. I don't know if you caught the show. We actually Mike and I got in contact with the original master engineer because there was a big debate over these things weren't it wasn't EQ'd properly. It didn't have the proper RIAA equalization. All bullshit. That was
Vlado Meller was his name.
He basically confirmed with me all that is rumors. That is not true because they wouldn't have pressed those records if they didn't have the proper equalization, and the A&R guy would have been fired. He said, says that's just a load of crap. He says that's not true. Don't believe that because I was there.
He mentioned they actually had JVC equalizers that were already made from the quad days that were designed for half-speed RIAA cutting. So that wasn't something they weren't guessing at it.
Right.
But I think that rumor started from the same guy that I found, that one email article that I have. I don't know if you saw this one as well. We found it, the Kenny Rogers Mobile Fidelity, the original Mobile Fidelity. They cut that one from a digital source, whereas everything else was cut by tape. But in that article as well, he also mentions that CBS half-speed mastered, the equalization was not right. So I think that's where that rumor, which is a false rumor, all started from that. So if you've got either I think it's an 80, what is it, Michael, an 80 and 82 CBS Wish You Were Here, half-speed Pink Floyd, both of them.
There's two different catalog numbers, yes.
Yeah, but they're both fine. The equalization is right on both of them according to
according to Vlado Miller.
Yeah. So and I got that on email. He's emailed me and said this is all bullshit. So I don't know if that makes the prices go up because they should sound just as. And the thing is, if you look on Discogs, some of the comments. Both of those cuts, people say they sound amazing. So just because they're great sounding records.
Somebody's actually adding that in the comments. They bought both, and they're both sounding great. Look at that, Steve. I have both. Someone is saying they have both in the press. I have both also. I have both versions of Wish You Were Here. Yeah. So look at that comment Tim put. I bought
Oh, here. Sorry, I didn't even see that. Thank you. So there's no equalization issue with either of those pressings. Either one you buy, if you can get one, buy it. They both sound great. That's coming from the horse's mouth. Hey, Michael?
Yeah, you got that from Vlado Miller. I remember.
I did.
Yep.
He couldn't believe it. He was just like, what? No, that's not true. Where'd you hear that? Because it's all over the forums, you can read that all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Leland's still waiting for his tracking confirmation on the Green Day test pressing American Idiot. Oh, shoot. Sorry
that you sent him? I didn't know you sent. When you sent it to me instead.
I didn't send that to him. He's just you're talking this one. Yeah. We're trying to set that up too. I did text Grover today. Hopefully we can get him and Levi on, Michael,
Awesome.
to talk about the actual one step because sound matters. Green Day, American Idiot, when it comes out as well.
Idiot, yeah.
Love
That's
to hear
about
that.
that's about 2.5 weeks away.
So hopefully in the next week or two. I think he's just waiting for it to come off the presses and be able to send us some copies so we can listen to them. I already listened to the test press, and I will say it blew me away, and I'm not just saying that. It really did. I think Levi did a great job on it. Again, it was a digital cut. And then when Dookie comes out, it'll actually be a AAA cut. And I don't think it's 45 RPM. I think it'll be
Chris
33.
Spellman at Bernie Grunman.
Chris Spellman is cutting the Dookie from tape, or has probably. Has he? Maybe he has.
Probably done by now,
Yeah. But yeah, the test pressing sounds great. So, I mean, I can't, it's going to be, you guys are going to be blown away by it. If you're a big American Idiot album fan or a Green Day fan, yeah, you're going to like it. Yeah, here's the thing, Tim, right? Also, he says if the RIAA was messed up, it would sound weird. It doesn't. So it's complete bullshit over all these years. So any forum post that you see, it's not true. We got it from the horse's mouth. Mouth, not mouse. Have they sold out? Have the Because Sound Matter one step sold out yet? That is a great question, Leland. I don't know. Go on their website. They're probably still available. They were only limited to about 3,000, Michael, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there were 3,000 each of the Lincoln Parks, correct. And I think American Idiot is 3,000 too, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
John Loper, Levi is the mastering king of digital domain, in my opinion. He getting a lot of press these days. A lot of people are happy with his work. And like I said, the American Idiot that I have, the test pressing, the one step, it is an incredible sounding album. And then Dookie's being cut by Chris Bellman from tape for the Because Sound Matters one step. I'm assuming that's been done, but that will probably come out early next year. Excited about that one. It's actually, I like that album better.
Yep, me too.
Yeah,
So
Dookie was their first major label album. Before that, they were on like a small label, indie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been Green Day's been doing a lot of concerts lately, haven't they? They've been out touring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're playing two entire albums per night or something, and it's different.
So how, as a musician, as a drummer, if you guys are coming in late here, Kevin, how exhausting is that?
It depends, really. I mean, if you're in that kind of playing shape, it's no big deal. I've done 2-hour shows where I could have done another 2 hours. You're in that kind of shape, you're in that kind of mindset. It doesn't really bother you. And these guys who are on the road at that high level, they've got the best doctors, they got the best nutritionists, they got the best people exercising them every day. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So you put your foot in your mouth there, Kevin.
Okay.
If Mrs. Bulger asks you to do the laundry or do the dishes, and you're going to say, "Oh, I'm too tired," but you're not too tired to do a 2.5-hour concert as a drummer, you're in big trouble now.
What do you think?
You're really fucked up.
What do you think happens when you have days off in the middle of the week? What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? I'm washing clothes tomorrow.
You're doing a lot of housework, is what you're doing.
Always, brother, always.
There you go. LA Woman, Rhino was not AAA back in 2009.
No.
Unless it was a Rhino Hi-Fi series. This is the thing about the Rhino Hi-Fi series. That's why they started it, because they're using tape. Everything else was a digital file. So if they ever do like Nightfly, that will be, obviously it's digital tape. So if Rhino Hi-Fi ever comes out with Nightfly, that'd be cool. Would you buy that?
I'd buy
it's
it.
Not. We're not talking. That's not a Steely Dan thing. That's a Don Fagan thing. So Kevin Gray cut Nightfly. Michael, would you buy it?
Did Kevin Gray cut? I don't think he has cut Nightfly.
No, but if he does, because I mean he's consistently cutting the hi-fi stuff for Ryan.
I'd probably get it. How about you?
Yeah, I'd get it.
Definitely.
I think we're in the golden age of quality vinyl. Absolutely. I mean, we've been in that age for 4 or 5 years now, haven't we?
I think so.
I don't know. Noah's asking, I hope you saw my question. Is he asking me that or? I got to go back. I don't know. I didn't see. No, I didn't see the question. If that was that. Oh, hang on. Here's this question. Noah said, "Do you think remastering the analog tapes from the tape straight to vinyl will be a trend, or will this be something moving forward?" Michael, do you want to answer that?
I mean, that's so hard to answer. It's just it depends on the record label, isn't it? Some labels like to send tapes out, some don't. It depends who's cutting it. Some want to send them to places like Sterling Sound or Bernie Grundman, but they won't send them anywhere else, right?
And if you're Sony, they don't release the masters.
They don't send them at all unless you want a DSD or you want a half-inch safety copy.
Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Noah.
Yeah.
But yeah, November's going to be fun. That's expensive, plus Christmas, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, even Mobile Fidelity has been releasing some neat stuff. I mean, not everyone's into Mariah Carey, but that's coming out in one step, and in the 45 version as well. I mean, hey, they're changing it up, right? No, it's not not everything is going to be what you want it to be.
Are you going to play that side with a big hit over and over and over on the Mariah Carey, Steve?
I got such a kick out of the fact that the day
All I Want for Christmas or whatever it's called, yeah.
The day that was announced, all the people on social media who thought it was fake, who thought it was a joke, I got such a kick out of that.
You thought it was a prank, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did a show that night, right? And I had it up. I think I even have it. I had it up because we captured it off. We captured it off the website, so I knew it was real. I mean, we knew that was real.
Yeah.
It was not fake, but yeah.
Awesome.
I was looking at here. Look at this. So this is the ones. Meet the Beatles, something new. Yeah, individual ones. I'll probably buy more. I'll probably buy, Beatles 65 for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
early
I might do the
Beatles
early
is good
Beatles
too.
and
That's
Beatles
a good one,
65
too.
actually. That's
And I like
that's
something
probably
new
what I'll do.
also.
Yeah. I don't need the Beatles story for $120 more. You probably get a glossy book with it though, so that might be worth it, right, Kevin? No, but MoFi has been. I think all the labels, Analog Productions, of course, Rhino, Mobile Fidelity. There's some good stuff coming out now. Vinyl Me Please. I've been fourth email now to the CEO of Vinyl Me Please to ask him to come on my show. Still haven't heard back from him. I really want to talk to him.
The ones I wouldn't mind having from them. About a month ago, they released a couple of Ramones albums, AAA cut by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear those.
But with Vinyl Me Please, it's international subscribers as well. They've cut out, so it's just basically anyone living in the States. Would Canada be part of that too? Because I don't have a subscription clearly. But is Canada considered international? So just be American subscribers, and that's all all that's left. Weird. The subscription model works. I mean, look at something like Costco. They have $1 billion of free cash flow a year just from their memberships. So I mean, stuff works.
But MoFi doesn't have $1.50 hot dogs.
They're more. I think they're like $2 here in Canada or $2.50. But you should do that. Offer a coupon or something like that. Oh my God!
That's great.
Anything on the Audiophile wish list, Kevin, that has not been reissued that you want to see come out in the next year?
I know I'm not alone here, but I'm still waiting for Led Zeppelin to get the Audiophile treatment. And I have a bunch.
How old are you right now? Because that's going to be a long time from now before that ever happens. I don't think that's going to happen because Jimmy Page likes his digital remasters from whatever year that was, Michael, 2016-ish, whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
I have them all, and I have a bunch of UK Zeppelin pressings which sound phenomenal, but I'd love to see them get the Audiophile treatment.
Joy Division is something that definitely Rhino is looking at, for sure. Hot dogs at Costco are $1.50 Canadian.
Nice.
Oh.
There you go.
So you're getting a discount. Nice.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. I'll have to drive to Canada, get maybe like $1 for me.
There
then.
you go. See, Jimmy Page says his versions are the best. So why would I want someone else to do better
Jimmy
than me?
Jimmy Page doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, artist intent. I'm
still waiting.
I guess those have artist intent.
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah,
so
yeah.
what more do you want?
They'll be signed off. Yeah, I want to hear. I'm still hoping for Rhino High Fidelity to put out Jane's Addiction, Nothing Shocking, and AC/DC, Highway to Hell, and Back in Black.
Oh,
Those would be awesome. Yeah.
I'd be on board with that. Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. Jimmy Page, the classic records, they didn't have the license for it. That's why it was pulled pretty quickly, and it's very limited because there wasn't the proper licensing for it, if I'm not mistaken, right? And from my conversations with Michael Fremer on this show, because I did ask him as well about this whole Chad Analog Productions having the metal for from classic records. Apparently, he doesn't. That was probably part of it too, eh, Michael? It probably had to destroy.
Yeah, that deal fell apart when they issued those 45 RPMs without permission. That's what happened there.
Cream AAA. There you go.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot.
Is Cream part of Rhino High Fidelity? Are they Warner? Where's what? I'm trying to remember. It's Atco. Atco is Atlantic is Warner. Yeah, Atco. Yeah.
I was listening to the other day. You guys, this is Warner, isn't it? Centerfield. I think this is Warner.
Yeah, that album can be bought for really cheap. It's only like a $5 album. Centerfield.
$5 album, but I mean, it's got
it's good. It's really good.
Centerfield on it. I mean, and that this is one that is John Fogerty's Centerfield album, but that came out. I thought it was a great sounding album. He actually played all the instruments on that album. And that song, "The Old Man Down the Road," which is the first track, he was sued by Saul Zaentz, who was the owner of Fantasy Records. Saul claimed that "The Old Man Down the Road" shared the same chorus as his CCR song, "Run Through the Jungle," song that, of course, Fogerty sang during his CCR days. But Fogerty had relinquished his copyright and publishing rights of the CCR song to Zaentz of Fantasy for him in exchange to release him from any obligations from Fantasy. So Saul Zaentz sued John Fogerty and lost.
And John Fogerty put out a song called "Zaentz Can't Dance."
Well, it's on this album. It's called Vance Can't Dance.
Vance Can't Dance. Yeah.
It's the last track on this album as well. I think he was worried. I think he changed it. So there's depending on the album, he changed the lyrics in the song because he was worried he's going to get sued afterwards. He
literally played the guitar in court to show how it was different.
Yeah. And he actually went to all the way to the Supreme Court after he won, get his attorney fees paid for, and he actually went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, "Yeah, we agree," and he was also given $1.3 million to pay his lawyer fees. But Saul Zaentz, guys, I don't think the 1.3 was going to hurt him. I mean, when he passed away, I think it was 2014. His company or his family estate or whatever still owned the rights to all the Lord of the Rings. Plus, he produced movies and won 3 or 4 Academy Awards. I mean, I don't think the 1.3 million hurt him too much. Must be nice. But yeah, you're right though. This is maybe new treatment. John Fogerty, Centerfield. If you want to go back to like the way CCR sounded, back in late 60s, 70s, this is it. He really went back to his roots on this one. I love "Old Man Down the Road," and that was a big MTV play, guys. If you remember, that song started out where I think they followed a guitar. I think it was a guitar chord or something, patch chord all the way through. It was basically one camera just followed all the way through through different scenes for the whole 3 or 4 minute song. It was a really ingenious video back in its day. I loved it. But yeah, he played all the instruments on that record, Centerfield.
Did you know that I was just looking it up for a minute? I bought this album in 2021 during COVID. John Fogerty put out an album called Fogerty's Factory.
Okay.
Have you guys seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's a great album. He recorded it during COVID. He did a lot of covers, and I think family members were on the record also.
Yeah, his kids are on there.
He has a couple of sons that play guitar on there.
Yeah, it came out in 2021.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. $5 anywhere. Good deal.
Yeah.
Centerfield. Look at this. If you like baseball, Kevin, look at that.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I have it. It's a great record.
And then he had a follow-up record with "Eye of the Zombie" on it. Remember that? He did a second solo album.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after, maybe 2 years later.
Centerfield was 1985, so I think that went on to sell like 2 or 3 million records. I mean, this has been his biggest selling record since CCR. It's big. If someone's saying BTO and AAA, hey, I'm from Winnipeg, BTO baby. Gotta love Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Bachman Turner Overdrive.
And Queen AAA. That's another thing. You're probably not going to get Queen AAA. It's going to be
waiting forever for that.
Is it DSD? Is it DSD Queen, or is that Rolling Stones as DSD? I think Rolling Stones. Oh, you got it as well, Kevin?
Yeah. Does yours say Zance Can't Dance or Vance Can't Dance?
So anything. So
he had to change it. He had to change it.
So there's a couple that mine was pressed after. So it's Vance Can't Dance.
Yeah, I got Zance Can't Dance.
Yeah, so you got yours is more rare. Yours is $6 instead of $5.
I need to go check mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Scott Walker solo stuff, Michael, Kevin.
I don't know that music. I don't know that musician, Scott Walker.
No, he's one of the Walker brothers, right?
Maybe I should look into it. Yeah.
Sun ain't gonna shine. That's
Doll Freak. Is there pre-order for Doors Box? No, it'll hit the website between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on November 22nd.
Okay.
3,000.
That probably won't even make it to storage. It'll probably sell out in an hour.
Well, it's 3,000. It's going to sell.
It's going to sell out fast.
Yeah. Well, ZZ Top was 2,000. I think that sold out. That came out on a Friday.
But the Doors are more popular than ZZ Top. Let's just be honest, Well,
it's going to sell out.
Yeah, it's going to be fast.
But again, guys, if you're joining late, unnumbered copies. Individual ones. So if you don't want, with the ZZ Top box, the only difference was you got a what was it here? A felt mat for your turntable, and that was the.
And you got a nice slipcase, right? Slipcase too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came in a really nice box as well. It came in and it had its own individual box. It was packaged and it said ZZ Top on the outside.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that for the Doors, which would be really cool. I bet you they're doing that. So cool little things. So Abraxas, MoFi, the 33 RPM. Did anyone pick it up?
Not yet.
It's unlimited.
I'll eventually get to it. Yeah, it's gonna come out again.
They just went this on the DSD machine and just cut it to vinyl again. So there'll be lots.
It's a one button operation, really.
One, just go like this.
And it starts the lid.
Okay, it's
also.
cut. Go. Press it. You hand it over. Done. But yeah,
did you guys hear the story on that? They had to put a sticker over the back jacket on that Abraxas reissue.
Because it said DSD 256, not 264.
Exactly, and they had to put a sticker saying that it was DSD 64.
Oh my God.
And again, it's the same file they had mastered when they did the one step. It's a DSD 64. It's the same file, mastered file, cut to vinyl. Again, you just press a button at this point because it's all mastered DSD. It's all there. It's not. You don't have to even adjust anything. Just click. I shouldn't say that. I'm being a complete jerk, but I mean, it does make sense, right? I mean, why do anything different if that one was very successful? But even Bernie, when he remastered Asia for the UHQR from that one from the mastered copy of the mastered EQ'd, he still EQ'd the EQ'd copy, did some adjustments. So maybe they did. Noah's asking me, Steve, do you agree with me that the Eagles, AAA, B2 or Queen, AAA won't happen? Well, it's all about licensing. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, the Eagles, I don't think there's a big market now. MoFi came out with the whole Eagles catalog in one step. I mean, they're going to be selling those for years. Queen, you can buy the, is it the Miles Scholl Queen box set? Like it's a half speed mastered.
And those were mastered by Bob Ludwig and then cut from files.
There you go. And then BTO. I mean, BTO limited market, right? I mean, Canadian band, Winnipeg band, my hometown. Good stuff, but yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Did you bring any records, Kevin, to show?
Sure.
I had Patrick Peebythal. I was like, Steve, when's show and tell? He must have been one of those kids that always got in trouble in school for like just jumping at the very beginning of the line.
Let me find one that
LA Woman UHQR sold out. Is that true? Is this a question or is that just a fact? Michael,
we can fact check
Michael,
it right now.
Please fact check that.
We better.
You know that.
But hold on. When I came on the show, you told me there'd be no fact checking, right?
No. This is ABC. We're gonna get what's that website? Snopes or whatever you call that, where they fact check everything. We should do that for like our for records.
It's showing it's back ordered on acoustic sound, so maybe
back ordered isn't sold out. It would say sold out if it was.
They may be pressing more of them.
Yeah.
This one. This is
someone said they're down to 50 copies of LA Woman. Oh, well, then I guess you'll have to get the 33. Oh, that's the Analog Productions Bad Company.
I have that too.
What do you think of that?
I think it's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing.
And that's 45 RPM, and we know the Rhino did the 33.
Yeah. I would like to pick up the Rhino one and A and B them and see how.
I also have this one. I bought Straight Shooter, the AP45.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get that one. No,
I have both of them. Yeah,
Bad Company by AP. That's a Kevin Gray as well, right? So he did both the Rhino 33 and the 45.
No, I think they're Ryan K. Smith. Let me check.
Or is it K. Smith? Okay.
I think they are. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
but really good.
Yep, Ryan K. Smith.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just excellent.
And the question is, will the Rhino Hi-Fi LA Woman beat the UHQR? I think it's going to be. I think if you're having bias, I think you need blind shootout for these ones where you have someone putting the records on for you, you have no idea what you're listening to, and you listen to the dynamics, you listen to this sound stage, the bass, the guitars, the vocals, and make some notes while you're listening. Have your partner put on the other record, do the same notes, and then tell us what you think. 45 RPM sometimes sound a little bit louder by about 2 dBs as well. So there's that. Doesn't necessarily mean it sounds better, just it's cut a little bit louder. So we'll see. I mean, it's all subjective, right? It really, truly is. Some will love the 45s, some will love the 33s. Again, if you're new to music, wanting to collect vinyl, this is a great opportunity because you're getting some great bands. Their whole set, 6 albums, The Doors, for $240 in a box or unnumbered. Can't go wrong. And okay, so I'm guessing the Rhino Doors box set will hit the secondary market at $400, possibly. But I mean, why would there be value? Because they're numbered, and because there's a box, sure. But again, the unnumbered ones sound exactly the same as the box if you're just going for that. We talked about this at the beginning. You're not going to make much money. I mean, there'll be flippers, right? You're not going to become a millionaire flipping records on Discogs. I can promise you that. You need big volume. Did you bring any other records, Michael?
Oh, there's one I bought over the weekend that's a new release. This band called the Lindas. Have you guys heard of them before?
Let me see this.
They actually opened up for Green Day in some of their shows. And it's pop punk, cool. Really good. They're on Epitaph Records. That's the same label as Offspring was on. And it sounds like really early Go-Go's, kind of real pop punk. The members in the band are between 14 and 20, young. Their father, 2 of the girls are sisters, and their father produced the record. It's a great sounding record. I've been listening to it on Apple Music, and it just finally came out on Friday. So nice sounding record. The indie store version is on translucent pink vinyl. Really nice sounding. So I picked that up.
So 1 second, Michael. If you guys, I mean, big news if you're a New Yorker, Kevin. You got your, it's a tie right now. Buffalo is 20-20 right now. Okay. Mets won today. Your Yankees are up 5-2.
And the Rangers won 4-1.
And the Rangers runs 4-1. You just need the Jets to hang on. So there you go. Jets are tied 20-20 in the third.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got my Bills shirt on, but yeah.
Well, they're the only New York team in that game, Buffalo, technically.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, did you ever get the other AP45 of the Stone Temple Pilots? You were going to get.
Yeah, I did. I got both of them.
How does that one sound? I haven't heard it yet.
Just as good, man.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right.
Just rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rhino Doors box. I mean, if you look at the ZZ Top, they were charging $40 a record. I think it's going to be the same for the box. It's not an upcharge for the box. I would assume it's going to be 40 times 6. That's $240. So I think at last show I said it was going to be anywhere from 240 to 280, give or take. We'll see. But it's not going to be I mean, again, speculation, but it makes sense just, based on past, stuff that they've done. You're looking at, we're looking at the ZZ Top Box, but yeah, this should be gone pretty quick. There'll be Rhino flippers. That's fine. If someone wants to buy it for a premium, go for it. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it at all. John Loper saying that there's Amazon has a lot of AAA Kevin Gray, Miles Davis, RTA monocuts for under $25. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Some of those were initially released as record store days like 10 years ago or 12 years ago. And then
So we don't know what will come. The Doors box set might come with a poster. I don't know. I don't have the information. I don't have my promo box yet. Hopefully get that next week.
Speaking of the Amazon thing, somebody had posted in a group during the week that Bayou Country by CCR was cut by Kevin Gray, and it was on Amazon for $25 from like 5 or 6 years ago. I went and bought it because of that.
And Hoffman was on there too, right? Hoffman.
Yeah. I bought it too. Yeah.
I'm glad.
A year ago.
I'm glad I did. It's really.
But
good.
You know what? Not everybody got that version. I remember discussions where some people didn't get the Hoffman, and it depended on where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I checked it
out. I think on the bottom cover it had to say fantasy on the bottom. That was another little giveaway too.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
I have that one too. It sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's leave it at that, guys. We went overtime. We went triple overtime today. Still no one scoring, but
so do we get extra pay or?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm an intern. I forgot I'm an intern.
You didn't even ask me for coffee today or anything like that, Michael. Well, guys, thank you. This has been awesome.
Thank you, Steve.
I mentioned before I got Miles Scholl coming on the show from Abbey Road Studios at some point. Awesome. We're going to do a late night show, though, Kevin, so you'll probably have to see the recording. So I'm going to do it probably at like 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is like 7 a.m. London time. So we're going to do like this late vinyl talk. I'm not sure. I just got confirmation this morning, and then we just have to work out, obviously, the logistics of that as well. So
if it's on a Monday or Tuesday, I will be staying up for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there any new releases Miles will be announcing? Or is it just kind of a shoot the shit show, kind of talk about stuff?
Yeah, I just want to talk about stuff. I haven't talked to him since we had the was the Red and White albums released, right? That's when the last time he came on.
The remix ones, yes, I remember that.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That 12-inch single, yeah. What was that 12-inch single they put out? It was an unreleased song. Remember that? It was a 7-inch single too.
Yeah.
They had a song that was unissued. Remember that?
You mean Now and Then?
Yeah,
Now and Then. Yeah,
that's what
Now and Then. Yeah.
Okay, put up your hand. How many of you guys, since that was released almost a year ago, how many times have you listened to your box sets of the Red and White albums, the remixes?
I didn't buy the remixes. I listened to an Apple Music, and I just was like, whatever. Yeah.
I bought it one time. So that's the thing, right? We're buying this stuff. We're not playing it. We're spending all this money. Opportunity cost. You could be taking that money instead, investing into the stock market. See?
Or buying property.
Doing something. Not going to be making money out of that stuff. All right. I could go all night about it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It was a great show.
Guys.
Michael T, Kevin, have a great day.
Everybody
all right,
be well.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks, Kevin.